Hey guys, I am live. I look crazy, but I'm live. I am here and I should be in the More Gold group. Let's just make sure that I'm in the right group. Let me refresh. I have my computer here. I have a document that I'm going to put in the group later. Just waiting for some of you guys to turn up if anybody is going to turn up for this live. Let me just make sure that I am in the right group. Yes, I am in the right group. Okay. Here I am. Here I am. Yay, I can see myself. Okay. So we are in the live. Hello, welcome. Please put your current time in the description box. Let me know that you are here and you are listening. So I am going to just get started and you guys can watch the replay, usually as always. Hey, Gwen, thank you for coming. So the first thing, this is an emergency live. And the reason this is an emergency live is because this is what I have been touting in this group for some time now. And the time has finally come. We are in a state of pandemic where if you only have one income, you are not going to be happy in about 3 months. So once again, let's get the party started and start talking about multiple streams of income. Let's start talking about things that we can do. Ooh, what's going on here? What's going on here? Is it still going? Can somebody comment and let me know? I'm having some technical difficulties here. I think it's going fine. So we are in a state now where if you only have one income, you could be in a difficult situation. Okay? So what we need to do and what we really need to focus on is making sure that you have more than one stream of income, ideally 7. But if you're just starting now and you haven't been paying a lot of attention to this group and you haven't been saying to yourself, hey, I think I can do this, and you haven't been setting yourself up to create multiple streams of income, I am going to do this live to set you guys up for multiple streams of income during this coronavirus pandemic situation that we have going on globally. Okay? So let me get started. I am going to put this document in the group. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put this document in the file section after this live. It's already typed up and I'm just going to read it off of my laptop as it's typed. So, things you can do to make money during the coronavirus recession. Now, just an additional tidbit. Some people are calling this a recession that's going to happen and it's taking place. And some people are thinking that it's going to go out into a full-on depression. If you have not been keeping up with finances and you have not been keeping up with the news, there are several countries that have flight advisories. Italy is completely locked in and shut down. So anytime you stop movement, you stop commerce. If you stop commerce, you are going to have financial issues in your country. We're all connected. So again, things you can do to make money during the coronavirus recession. This file will be in the group. Number 1, sew mask. They have the mask. Everybody's telling you the masks don't work, but the masks still keep you from touching your face. People still want the mask. They're going to still want the mask, and they're going to want the mask for the remainder of this year. This is nowhere near over. It is not going to be over in 3 months. It is not going to be over in 6 months. Think World Trade Center, okay? This is a pandemic. This is a full-on pandemic. Florida is in a state of emergency. You can check behind me for sources online. So you can sew masks. There are patterns on Pinterest for babies, for adults. There's various masks that you can sew. I suggest, because this is what I'm going to do, I suggest sewing the mask that covers over the nose and comes a little bit tighter than just that square that you usually see people with. Number 2, make soap and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I say Facebook Marketplace because they don't take a cut of your sales and your proceeds, whereas Etsy, you have to give up a portion. And obviously, you're going to have to give up a portion of your money for PayPal and Cash App and things like that anyway to collect monies online. So making soap. Number 3, make hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer can be made very cheaply. You can use rubbing alcohol. You can use aloe vera gel. You can use a lot of different ingredients. I know everybody is saying use vodka. Vodka is expensive. So find recipes online. These are things that homesteaders have been doing for years. This is nothing new. You need to plug into it and see how you can either cash in or at the very least survive during this pandemic. Number 4, pick up trash and work with a valet service. This is primarily for in the United States. If you go onto Craigslist, there are valet trash services. So in apartment complexes in America, they have trash pickup. You can volunteer to work for one of those services. You don't need a clean driving record. You could be a whole criminal and do this kind of work. You are going to have to get your hands dirty in this pandemic if you have not already set up multiple streams of income. I have seen reports that the schools are not paying your full salary. Do not wait until you run out of your savings. Do not wait until your rent gets behind. Okay, number 5, teach English online to kids in China. If you are hearing my voice, you probably have a degree in something. Take another $20 and get the TEFL degree. It's a TEFL. You can do it in as little as a week, as much as a month. I finished mine in a month because I have children. Get that little certification. It's not a degree, it's a certification. You can get it on Groupon, TEFL. With those 2 things, your degree and your TEFL, you can teach for GoGo Kid. There's a link in this group for that. You can teach with VIP Kid. And also in the file section, there are a list of schools that take U.S., Canadian, and other country citizens to teach English. Number 5, start a garden and start selling that produce. If you know how to grow, if you have a growing hand, if you know how to grow anything, even trying your hand at some supplies that you already have at your disposal. Nobody is going to want to go to a grocery store and choose produce from China. A lot of the produce is coming from China. People are already saying they don't want that produce. You might not think you have time, but trust me, you have time. You can go to the nursery, you can buy an orange tree and start selling and have a bushel at least to sell by the time the summer hits. You do have time to regrow from scraps. You do have time to do planting in pots. So you can, in your very own apartment, on your balcony, your veranda, you can start to garden and get ready to sell that produce. Or at the very least, exchange that produce for other things that you might need. We are going to go back to bartering. Don't kid yourself and don't let this pandemic catch you sleeping. I do not want to get into an alarmist mode. I am not about that. But I feel like it's my responsibility in this group to prepare you guys for things that you can do and to keep you guys afloat, because the whole purpose of this group is to make money, passive income, and now, just multiple streams of income because of this pandemic. Number 7, make flour. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Most of the flour that we buy is made overseas, okay? If you buy hemp flour, if you buy rice flour, even online you can check and look at the labels. It's coming from Canada. It's coming from different countries. You can take the rice that you have in your house right now, put it into a mill. Now you'll have to buy a mill, right? You can buy a mill online on Amazon and you can grind up flour. People who are in the bakery business, or even you yourself, if you have children, if you know that you're going to need some bread, you are not going to be able to get these things if this pandemic goes to the next level. Remember, I said that Florida is already in a state of emergency, okay? The schools are already on lockdown in Japan to a certain degree. You don't want this thing to get out of hand, okay? If you're just joining this live, we are talking about 14 ways that you can make money during this coronavirus recession, and we are hoping it does not go into depression. Number 8, making cloth diapers. If you know how to sew, again, another project is to make the cloth diapers, sell them on Facebook Marketplace, and to sell them on Etsy. Etsy will take a significant cut, but if that's all you have available to you, that's what you can do. Why do I say that? Because with all of these paper products running out, people are still going to need diapers. They are still going to need Pampers for their children. Even if you don't have the money for the supplies, you make one set, you take pictures of it, and then you pre-sell it. And you say, hey, I have diapers available. They are going to go out on March 15th, or they're going to go out on March 30th. People are going to start running out of things. If they continue to lock down the trade, as they already have, Italy is completely shut down. America has about 3 to 6 months worth of supplies. There are already supplies that came in before the pandemic on the docks. Japan is a little bit more hairy because it's an island, okay? If you use almond flour, you can buy blanched almonds, throw them in the food processor blender until it's fine. Thank you. Okay? Again, thank you, because sharing these tips and these tricks in these groups and teaching other people is another way that you're going to be able to sustain yourself during this recession. And again, hoping that it doesn't go into a full-on depression, which is what we're thinking. If you paid any attention to the Dow when you woke up this morning, the Dow went down so bad, they literally had to freeze it so it didn't bottom out. Trading has been very, very crazy. Okay. It has been suggested by a lot of different pundits, financial pundits on TV, that if you are over 40 years old, you should take your money out of the market because that's how low it has gone. All right, we're going to keep it moving. Number 9, make detergent and sell it. There are recipes for detergent online using baking soda, using, I can't remember the other ingredient, but there are different ways to make detergent. That might be something that runs out, okay? What you're trying to do is zero in on what's going to run out, what's going to be in high demand, and something that you can easily make for a relatively low cost, or even something that you can pre-sell before you even have the money for supplies. That's the name of the game. And again, you don't want to let it get to a point where you have absolutely nothing and you're scratching, okay? You might have enough money to last you for 3 months, but do you have enough money to last you for 6? Think World Trade Center. It took a long time to recover from the Trade Center, from the Twin Towers. So just think about these things, look at history, and please listen to these suggestions and see if any of them might work for you if you only have one income. Moving forward, number 10, deliver groceries through an app or post a note in local stores to your local grocery stores. If you are in Japan, you have an awesome opportunity to help the elderly. There are still many elderly in Japan that choose to stay home. They choose to live by themselves. They want to practice a certain level of autonomy, but they are very, very vulnerable to the coronavirus. So you want to offer to help them as much as you possibly can. The good thing about living in Asian countries is a lot of the elderly have cash. I'm just going to be frank. They have cash in their homes. And if they need the help, they can give it to you. All right. And they can exchange as well what they have on hand and what they may not be able to use. Moving forward, number 11. If you are a content creator already, you have a very nice Instagram, you have a YouTube channel, you can start a coronavirus recession podcast. Go through the Anchor app, go on your phone, go on the computer and look up Anchor, spelled just like ANCHOR. It's an app that you can use to create a podcast. You can do it through your iPhone. You don't need a microphone or anything. Just jump on there and get started. See if you get a bite. Start putting out content. More than likely, someone will jump in and sponsor. You can start looking for sponsors. You have time. This is going to be a long haul, okay? This is going to be a long haul. Number 12, if you have a purifier of any kind, a purifier for water like an ionizer or a water distiller, you can start to pre-sell clean water, okay? Why do I think water is going to be an issue? Because people panic The water's still going to be running. But people panic, and what they do is they buy all of the bottled water up. And people who have children, they have to use bottled water for their formula. Okay? Again, even if you don't have this, you can go online, $200, $300. If you have the cash up front, buy the equipment, start selling the water. Okay, so that's another hustle you can do. Number 13, we're nearly at the end. I only have 14 for you. Number 13, start a bleach-based cleaning service. I am not a medical professional. However, reports are coming out saying that the bleach will prevent you from carrying the coronavirus within your house on hard surfaces. In addition to that, if you are African or African American descent, they still have not detected anyone of African descent who has died from this virus. If you have a different report, please put it below. Again, I am not a medical professional. I am reporting to you what I have seen in the field. So that could mean one of two things. We gonna get it last, or it could mean that you are a little bit less susceptible to the virus. In any case, always practice safety. Don't go with any Hotep conspiracy theories. I'm just telling you what I have seen, reported, and friends that I have come in contact with on the continent directly. They do not have anyone in their countries of Nigeria, specifically, with the virus. Okay? No one has gotten sick in African countries of people that I have spoken to on the ground. All right? And then the last thing is start teaching on YouTube. If you have some home remedies, you're Jamaican, you're from Trinidad, you're Geechee, you're Native American, even if you're just from the South in general. If you come from a country that has a rich culture and heritage of natural healing, you know, you put your disclaimer out front, you say, hey, I'm not a medical professional. However, I have done these things. Talk about the purifying properties of salt. Talk about the purifying properties of tea tree oil. Anything that is known to purify and clean in your culture. Also, if you have any home remedies to boost your immune system. There's a young woman in the Black Women in Japan group. She shared a clip of her, I think it's her aunt or her cousin, about some home remedies with turmeric and garlic and, citrus fruits and things like that, and ginger. Any of these home remedies, you'd be surprised. People don't know these things, especially if they're from the younger generation. Start sharing these things. Start circulating these things. And I am wishing you well during this pandemic. I am not going to leave you. I am still going to be here. And because there are so many people who need to make supplementary income, I am going to now open up the group and start sharing the link so that more people can come into the group and use the information that is available here. Now, one thing, my only suggestion of things that you do not do is do not start drop shipping. You do not want to drop ship right now because, to be frank, you can't supply the demand. The goods are not going to come from China fast enough. Nobody wants to have anything to do with China right now. And factories could shut down, quite honestly. So stay on top of the news, but don't stay on top of the fear, if that makes any sense. Thank you. I definitely want to help. I definitely want to help. I don't want anybody to stay on top of the fear, but I want you to stay on top of the news about what's going on. So, for example, articles that are opinion-based, that's not what we want. We want reports from the CDC. We want reports from the government that tell us who has flights going in and out. We want reports from the government who are telling us who's in a state of emergency, right? We want those things. We want reports from the CDC, the United Nations, government officials, doctors. We don't want opinions talking about where this virus came from. That is immaterial to us right now. Whether it came from bats and monkeys, who cares? We not near the bats and monkeys. We're near each other. So I am going to close this live. I'm going to wish you well. If you were watching the replay, please take down those 14 tips that I have that you can use to make some additional monies that you can stockpile now, because getting in on these things earlier, sooner than later, are definitely going to benefit you, because we are not out of the woods. This thing is just starting. Look in the file section. I love you guys and have a great week. Bye-bye.